Game day in South Bend. He is the face of this football program. But what you see isn't always what you get. In the midst of trying to prove he can return the Irish to prominence, Charlie Weis's greatest personal achievement may be happening far from the football field. It's a place he affectionately calls the farm. A place where his 13-year-old daughter Hannah, diagnosed with global developmental delays, could one day call home.
Smile, Hannah. Give me a smile. Give Mommy a smile.
I think the hardest part we dealt with was in the beginning, hearing the diagnosis of autism, wondering what our future was going to be like, and, you know, being scared. It devastated me and it devastated Charlie. You know, it's such a difficult thing to deal with.
There came a time where all of a sudden she started to, you know, go into a fog. It was like our world, was like, what do we do now? Here's one of our little daughter, our little baby, you know, has been hit with a stigma for life, and, you know, it's something that we're going to have to learn to deal with.
We all have visions of our child going to school, graduating from a place like Notre Dame, you know, having this whole vision in our mind, and, you know, you have to change your vision, and you kind of have to learn to love this new person that's there.
Hannah! Hannah! Hey, Annie!
What do you remember feeling when you realized that something was different? Were you scared?
Oh, I was heartbroken because, you know, this isn't like something like everything's going to be okay. You know, this was, you know, we have a problem here, and this is a problem that may go on for a long time. And I think that my biggest frustration is not being able to be there for my wife physically, even though she knew she had my support. But with the hours she worked as a coach, there were a lot of times where she was a, you know, one-person show. I mean, thank God for Maura.
There were times when Maura wasn't so sure if she would make it. She writes about some of her struggles in her new book, Miles from the Sideline. It's a story about the journey of raising Hannah, a journey which has been a rewarding challenge between a mother and her daughter.
Hannah, what about Mommy?
Her favorite thing in the world, without a doubt, is Mom. She is Mommy's little girl. And there was a lot of time now where that wasn't the case. There was a lot of time where, you know, Maura would be in tears because it's almost like Hannah didn't know who she was.
I feel almost like God has given me a very special gift in Hannah. And I think that I know Charlie feels the same way. He calls her our angel. And she really is our angel because she's given us the gift of life.
There finally comes a time where you've gone through that soul searching and feeling sorry for your kid and feeling sorry for yourself. And you finally reach a time where you say, okay, now what are we going to do about it?
And that something was the creation of Hannah and Friends, a charitable organization founded by Charlie and Maura in 2003, designed to improve the quality of life for children with special needs. The centerpiece is the Hannah and Friends Farm, situated on over 30 acres, just a few miles from Notre Dame Stadium.
When Hannah was younger, I used to think about that. What's going to happen? Where's she going to go?
Their hope is that the farm will provide that answer. It will be a place where young adults with special needs can coexist in a private community setting. As Charlie and Maura describe it, an environment for people of different abilities to become their very best.
We want people, you know, around the country to come up and say, hey, let's go look at what they did in South Bend, because this would be, you know, a type of community where anyone with any kind of disability, whether it be mental, intellectual, physical, whatever it ended up being, would want to live in something like this.
And their philanthropic efforts have been recognized on a federal level. Charlie, the coach, became part of a bigger team when he was recently appointed to the President's Committee for People with Intellectual Disabilities.
I think that I was probably much more selfish before we started Hannah and Friends, because the only things that were important to me were work and my family. And now with Maura starting up Hannah and Friends and the work we do for people with special needs, it helps complete your life.
Hannah really inspired us to live an unselfish life and to give back. I think that that was one of her biggest gifts that she's given both Charlie and I, is to not think about just yourself.
Has she softened you or hardened you as a person?
Oh, she's definitely softened you. You know, she dominates you. You know, no matter how tough you might think you are as a football coach, you're a wimp when it comes to dealing with your kid with special needs, I promise you.
What is your hope for her future?
My hope for Hannah is find an environment where she could be around people that don't look at her like she's a weirdo. Don't look at her with a stigma attached. Just, you know, look at her with love. And I think that when we get that environment and Hannah can be like that, I'll be a happy camper.